guys, welcome back to my channel here. Thank you guys for watching. Today I have for you the 2023 Cadillac CT5, and this is Cadillac's biggest sedan that they offer right now, and probably one of the most funnest to drive. So let's go over some of the details here. Alright, we'll come around to the inside here. The handles, you don't pull on them. There's actually a little button back there, and you pull it, and that's how you get into the vehicle here. Of course, we do have the nice carbon fiber and some gold stitching here along the leather. We have these nice black leather seats that are super soft and just kind of are like super comfortable, super squishy. You do have this portion of the seat that does adjust well, and you do have, you know, raises up, drops down, and this feature also may have a massage seats as well. I'll have to double check that. We do have some sport pedals down here. As for legroom, you have a ton of legroom in here. You do have a ton of headroom up here as well. I would say easily a person that's 6'4", 6'5", super tall could easily fit in here as well. Now I'm 5'8", so I would say a little bit shorter than most people, but we'll come around to the back seat. So this is at my 5'8" driving position here. You have quite a bit of leg room here. So I can easily sit comfortably back here without any issues with the seat bumping my knees or anything. There's surprisingly quite a bit of room back here. You do have vents back here. We do have a 12-volt socket and a USB-C there as well. We do have an armrest with cup holders back here as well for your passengers. Leather is super nice back here as well, of course. Here's the sunroof in the back seat as well. You do have map lights over here in the back on each side. You have provisions back here up on the upper deck for car seats. Some speakers. This does have the Bose 10-speaker performance audio system here. As we come around to the trunk here, there is quite a bit of room back here. This one also does have an emergency highway safety kit, and honestly, I believe you could fit everything you need in this trunk. This thing is amazing. This one does not come with a spare tire, as most cars today do not. You have over here your battery and a little storage compartment over here as well. And I would say you have quite a bit of room. You can also lay down the seats as well to have access to the back seat and have a little bit more room for putting things in here. This does have a capless fuel system, which makes it for easy going, and you don't have to worry about leaving that cap off anymore. We do have real carbon fiber accents all over the dash and the door panels, and of course the center console here. It is just kind of all over the place, and I love it. Yeah, the steering wheel is a super nice steering wheel. I want to give props to the person who designed this, because this just feels super nice in your hand. Down in here, we do have a 12-volt socket. We do have a USB-C type and a regular USB, and your SD card, which controls your navigation. You can also pull it out and do things for like music if you want to put music on an SD card. We do have a wireless charger right here. You can sit your phone right in there, and you also have another phone holder here, which makes it kind of convenient. All right, on the turn signal controls here, so this does have auto brights for when you're driving at night. Of course, you have your auto lights. You can turn automatic control lights off or back on. You have parking lights and headlamps. If you are, say, driving in inclement weather, you need to turn those on there. We also do have, if you can see it here, a heads-up display which will read out the miles per hour, and you can also go through and have it read RPMs, and then switch back to that. If you have it set up, you can also have it show the speed limit sign as well, and you can move the heads-up and display up and down. It's a pretty cool feature. Over here in the wiper arm stock, you do have, of course, general wipers. If you put it in the auto mode here, it will automatically detect when there's rain. There is a rain sensor up here on the windshield, automatically detect rain, and it will run the wipers depending on how hard it is raining out there for you. But we will shut that off. Of course, you pull forward to be able to spray the windshield as well. So I will go over some of the interior features here on the CT5. So up here in the home menu, we have audio, phone, navigation, Wi-Fi hotspot, users, settings, Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto. We have apps, OnStar services, climate, Sirius XM, My Cadillac, which you can also link to your app on your phone. And with the app on your phone, you can also lock, unlock, remote start your vehicle from your phone. Back over here, you have like the kind of climate. This is kind of a general screen here. Over here in this little box here, you'll generally have the navigation, but that of course isn't set up on this vehicle. Under your phone is where you can pair it. You can connect your phone. It'll pop up with instructions on how you do that. It's fairly simple. For climate, you can go in here, adjust like the temperature, where it's going. You also have the manual controls down here as well. You can turn on the AC, recirc, sync, does have dual zone climate control, heated seats. You come down here, right by the shifter, you do have more radio controls. This knob here, which will control things on the menu as well, so you don't have to reach up and constantly touch the screen. You do have a phone button, which will go over to your phone. You have a music button here that will turn on, switch over to music there. You can hit the navigation button, it'll switch you over to navigation, stuff like that. You can also, if you have like a phone connected, you can switch through each of the controls here. The shifter, you have your foot on the brake, so you have this button on the left side here. You press that in, pull back, goes into drive and highlights the D. If you pull back again, it puts it into manual mode. You hold it, you can go one click to go into neutral, 2 clicks to go into reverse. We'll bring up the backup camera as well, and then you press the P on top for park. And when you come in here to mess around with each of the modes, so like say I switch it over to sport, you can change how the steering feels, the engine shifting feels, the brake feel, and the engine sound. If we switch it over to tour mode, you can change the same exact things. You can just kind of go through and just change everything like you want. And with my mode, you can edit those as well and just make overall what you personally want the vehicle to feel like. This vehicle does come equipped with park assist sensors front and rear, and this one also has lane keep assist as well. Over here in the instrument cluster, we do have trip. You do have some things on the left side there. You can adjust those tiles to whatever you want. Right now it's set to boost pressure, instantaneous fuel economy, tire pressure, and it tells you the temperature of the tires as well, and oil pressure. On the left side, you can change like to driver assist, audio, navigation. It'll tell you step-by-step things, like if you have to turn right, it'll pop up there and tell you turn right. We do have phone connectability up there. Maintenance, so like the engine oil life. This thing only has 22 miles on it, so shouldn't need an oil change. You can change your display theme. So right now it's in sport. If we switch over to tour, it looks like that. And you can also link it to driver mode. So if you have it, if you go down here and you press over to mode, you can change it from snow to ice, my mode, tour, sport, stuff like that. You do have traction control button and auto hold, which I will go over that here in a second. But back over to here, if you link it to driver mode, tour will automatically, if you're in tour mode, go to that. If you're in sport mode, it'll jump over to sport if you have it to link to driver mode. I'll just leave it on when it was initially there, which was on sport. Let's see here. back to the auto hold feature. So this, if you turn it on, of course it tells you you have to have your seatbelt on. What you do is when you get to a stoplight, it'll pop up here in the dash and it'll say auto hold right there, and it'll turn green when you come to a stop, and you can let your foot off the brake and the car will sit there until you need to go again. You can press on the accelerator and it will take off for you. It's a pretty nice feature. Down here on the steering wheel controls, you have heated steering wheel. This is for your adaptive cruise, so you can adjust the gap from far, medium, and near, stuff like that. You do have the cruise control buttons here, so this will pop up with a little icon when you turn on the cruise control, and right there you can also set it, and it will tell you when you set it. You can set it as low as 15 miles an hour. It is quite low. Most cars generally don't let you do it below 30. You do have this for hands-free, this to end a call. On the right side here, you can use these two to skip through different radio stations, or if you have your phone connected, through different songs. This adjusts the tiles over here. You can scroll through certain things. You also have volume controls over here, and of course the big button here is your horn. Up top here, generally, you do have your OnStar controls. You do have sunroof, which this has 2 sunroofs. I will activate that there. It's kind of a nice feature. Give it some nice light in the vehicle. You do have garage door programming buttons up here. You do have that for your map lights. This does have a tilt and slide moonroof. I think just the front one here, though. All right, so I'm coming out on some corners here. Just kind of get a feel for how it is. Oh yeah, it's a super crisp and nice turn-in. It's just, you can tell it. They really designed this chassis very well, because it handles so well, and it even just going down like this straight road I'm going down right now, and it has quite a few bumps. It's just absorbing them super well, and most newer cars, they don't float down the road like a Cadillac, and guess what? This is a Cadillac, of course. So it's they still have that old like old Cadillac feeling, where they kind of float down the road, and it's super nice. And I would definitely like this as a daily driver. It's super comfortable. The leather's super soft in here, and it's sporty feeling as well at the same time, which is also a plus for me. I personally like the sportier feel. This thing's only got 33 miles on it, so I can't rev it over 4,000 RPM. So no launch test today, unfortunately. But I definitely can do a braking test here once we get cleared up from some of the traffic around. So I've been using the adaptive cruise on here, and I've realized that this thing will literally take you to a stop. If you're behind someone and they're slowing down and they're coming up to a stoplight, it will take you to a dead stop, and it will automatically start going again for you. It's almost creepy, but it's kind of an interesting feature. The car's nearly almost driving itself. They do also, on certain models, have an option to get the Super Cruise, which is a GM specific feature that has like basically fully autonomous driving capabilities, and it's just super nice feature. All right, so it's time for the braking test. No one around. Whoa! That those Brembos stop this thing extremely well. That's all I have to say. I would definitely feel confident driving this on the daily, where people are like, you're in backed up traffic and the traffic randomly comes to a halt. I have confidence that this thing has the braking ability to be able to bring you to a stop very quickly. This engine does have a 500-mile break-in period, so between now and once I hit 500 miles, the RPMs are limited to, looks like 4,200, and once you hit that 500-mile mark, the RPMs will adjust, and you will be able to take this thing up to its full red line, which is I think on this vehicle should be 6,500, which is pretty good. Honestly, as I'm driving this around, it's mind-blowing how smooth it is. It's great, and even taking some slight curves like this, and it's just completely planted. It doesn't even feel like I'm turning. It's amazing. And right now, like this person in front of me, we're doing a little bit under the speed limit, and I'm using the adaptive cruise, and it's picking that up, and it's slowing me down, and it's accelerating when they get back up to the speed limit, stuff like that. It's crazy how all this works and comes together, and I would love to have this for a daily. It's smooth. It's quick enough to get out into traffic without any issues. It's overall just a great vehicle. The fuel economy on this, they say you're supposed to average 16 in the city, and I think it was 26 on the highway, but I've been driving it, and right around, they're about right, but so far in the city, technically I've averaged about 21 miles to the gallon, and I think that's overall great and better than they're claiming, which is always good. All right, speed limit's 40 now, so I'll set. Alright, so we'll go over the fob functions as well here. My favorite part about this fob is that the red matches the red brake calipers right down here. It's just Cadillac's little piece of little piece of details that they add into these things that makes them super nice as well. But on the fob here itself, we have lock, unlock, remote start, and trunk and alarm as well. So if we want to use the remote start, we'll press lock at least once and double click the remote start, and it'll start right up for you. This one you do have to hold the remote start key to shut the car back off, should you want to cancel remote start as well. This is GM's 2-liter turbo that they designed specifically for this model. It has a twin scroll turbo, so it spools up very quickly, which means there's 2 exhaust ports in the turbo manifold there that allow it to spool up quicker. This does make 237 horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque, and overall it is a very surprisingly quick vehicle. Of course, I can't get it over 4,000 RPMs, but I can imagine once that engine breaks in, the power in this would be great to get around and just overall quick. This is mated with GM's 10-speed automatic transmission, which I've never felt a transmission more smooth than the one in this vehicle, I have to say. There is also other options available. They do have a 3-liter twin turbo option that you can get in this. Then if you want to get real spicy with it, you can get GM's 6.2-liter LS-based engine. It is an LT4, I believe, and it's a 6.2-liter supercharged, makes 670 horsepower, but those are some options available on this. Down here at the brakes, this does have the optional upgraded 6-pot caliper brake in the front, which is V Performance that GM has come out with, which definitely halts this vehicle very fast, as you saw in my braking test there. The suspension right now is just a general coil-over spring. You can get the optional Magna Ride suspension, which does change how the vehicle feels, but overall in general this vehicle I would say rides amazing. We do have the 19-inch wheels on here right now that are gunmetal front and rear. The rear brake is just a single piston caliper, and it still of course brings this vehicle to a halt as well. Helps out with overall brake balance. Alright, so I honestly have to say this is probably one of the most fun vehicles I personally have ever driven. It has surprisingly quite a bit of power to be able to get out in traffic even with the rev limit on it. And it overall, I will say, handles probably the best out of a lot of the vehicles I have driven. And if I had to have this for a daily, I definitely would. It has power, has space for your friends and family, it has a lot of cargo space in the trunk area to be able to take it to the store, pick up groceries, stuff like that. So I honestly would choose this for a daily, any day of the week. It's honestly perfect, I would say. It's great fuel economy. Of course, has a lot of room in it as well. And if you guys are interested in picking this exact model up, it is actually for sale at the dealership I work at, Red Nolan Cadillac. And I, of course, don't know the pricing on it, but if you get with one of the salesmen there, they'll be able to hook you up with that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, share, and stay tuned for the next one. It is mind-blowingly scary how fast this car stops.